YTPC. Padre Piper coming to you via the virtual airwaves of YouTube from Scarlet Vespa, saying hello, YouTube Pipe community. I hope you're finding all the blessings that the Lord has in store for you in your life. I wanted to take a moment of time today to talk to you about a top 5 list. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 list of fall tobaccos that I enjoy smoking in the autumn time. Now we're just a few days shy of the first day of fall, but we are in quite a heat wave down here where I am. Before I go any further with that, let me say this. I want to thank everybody from the Padre Piper YouTube channel who have gone over and subscribed on the Padre Rider channel as well. I'm going to be getting some more moto vlogging up there, and thought I would have a little fun doing a little moto vlogging for the YTPC channel today. If you haven't checked out the new channel or haven't subbed and you'd like to, I'd love for you to. Just go on over youtube.com/Padre Rider, R-I-D-E-R. But this is the Padre Piper YouTube channel. So let's talk a little bit about those fall blends, even though it's a little bit hard to get into right now. Why is that? Well, because we are just a few days shy of September 22nd, 2018, the first day of fall on the calendar. Yet down here where I live, it is just outright hot. In fact, we are in the 5th straight day of record heat here. We hit a high of 98 degrees yesterday in New Orleans, and that shattered a record from 1980. And the day before that, we hit a high of 96 or 97, which shattered a record from, if I'm not mistaken, 1954. So we're in a bit of a heat wave right now down here, and just kind of waiting for that first blast of cool autumn air to come our way. And that will come with great relief to the heat that we're experiencing. And I tell you, I am not a squid. I don't like riding around on 2 wheels without being properly attired, and proper attire includes wearing gloves and long sleeves and long pants and boots. And why I chose to come into this park to ride around and hit all these speed bumps, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it's a hot one, folks. At least it feels that way riding around. It feels like, you know, if you ride 2 wheels, you'd say, hey, I like the feel of the breeze blowing on me. Except today, it's so hot and humid, the breeze is more like, picture yourself in a steamy shower with someone blowing a hairdryer on you. That's kind of what that breeze feels like. It's just downright hot and muggy. But anyway, we are looking forward to cooler temperatures in the future. Again, fall just a few days away, and even though the calendar says that, the weather may not, but we know that the cool days will be coming sooner or later. So let's get into the top 5 list of autumn blends, fall blends to smoke, or at least the ones that I like to smoke. Now, I'm going to do this off the top of my head. For those of you who think I don't put a whole lot of prep time into my YTPC videos, well, quite frankly, you're probably correct in that assumption. Let me just turn this puppy around. Yeah, so I don't sit down with a storyboard and figure this stuff out. I usually just turn the camera on and talk. With the top 5 list, typically what I like to do is at least have a sticky note prepared so I know what my top 5 are and remember them and such. I opted to go against that idea today while riding on 2 wheels. I figured it'd be best to just keep my eyes on the road and not on sticky notes. So I'm going to do this strictly from memory. We're going to rely on the old noggin to get us through this, and what I don't remember, well, I'll just say, gosh, I don't remember. But let me just start off number 5 of Padre Piper's top 5 fall blends. I'm stalling at this point because I don't even remember what number 5 was supposed to be. Ha! You know, it is just It's hell getting old. Let me get around this speed bump and I'll give it a little bit more thought and we'll get to it. Number 5 on the list, folks, is from Sutliff. It is a blend that is perfect for this time of the year, and at the risk of sounding like what social media calls, I believe, what is it, a plain white girl? Is that the term? It's Sutliff's Pumpkin Spice. Now, I know everything's going to be pumpkin spice before we know it. I am not much of a pumpkin spice latte kind of guy. I'm not a latte kind of guy anyway. If folks know me, know I just like good old black coffee. Having said that, I'll tell you, in the fall, I don't mind a cup of pumpkin spice flavored coffee. It's got to be real coffee, though. It can't be one of those lattes with whipped cream and all kind of crud added to it. I don't want dessert. I want coffee. But when it comes to that pumpkin spice flavor, Sutliff has a wonderful pipe tobacco. It's an aromatic. It's like most of the ones on this list today, it's a mix of Virginia and Burley and some Cavendish. And this one is topped with spices of the season, including pumpkin flavoring, pumpkin spice, cinnamon. There's some nutmeg thrown in there. And this is not an overly sweet tobacco. It reminds me of a unsweet pumpkin pie. You might say, I guess if we're talking about teas or wines, you would describe it as more acidic or more dry than sweet, and still a very pleasant smoke, perfect for the fall time of the year. And I think that most folks who are around you, whether they're partakers of tobacco products or not, will find that the room note for Sutliff's Pumpkin Spice is actually quite seasonal and nice. Number 4 on my list, another one with a fantastic room note and a pouch note as well, or tin note, depending upon how you get it. It's C&D's Autumn Evening. I mean, that just sounds like it would be a good autumn, fall kind of blend, now doesn't it? Bear with me, I'm going to turn this bike around. I got a car on my butt, but what I want to do is go back and hit that dog that was being walked. I don't want to hit it. I want to go back and see him and give them a flyer for our blessing of the animals that we've got coming up at church. So just bear with me. I'll make the edit, if need be, in the video, because I'm not quite sure. My pipe friends want to see me hanging out with the dogs, but anybody who knows me knows I'm an animal lover. So let me not get hit by this truck and go back and see this puppy dog and get them a flyer. So just bear with me one moment. Hey there, we're having a blessing of the animals at our church, Good Shepherd Church. I was hoping you'd bring your dog out. Okay. Yeah, you bet, man. Have a good one. God bless. All right, deed done. Autumn Evening. I mean, it just gives you the scent or the sound of a good fall blend. It's got a pouch note or tin note that is heavy on the maple, sort of syrupy kind of smell, and you catch that flavor too. There's a lot of other flavors in it too when you smoke it. They include sort of a molasses, a lot of sweetness. There's some cinnamony background in there. There's some vanilla background as well. The one thing that I notice about this C&D Autumn Evening, for my taste anyway, for an aromatic, I think it's particularly well done, but it's a little bit heavy on oh, these people want me to go out in traffic. Not going to do it. Nice lady. I'll tell you what, we're going to go the other way. It's a little bit heavy on the nick side. And, you know, maybe that's just my oversensitivity. We're going to cut through this shopping center. maybe it's my oversensitivity to nicotine. I am a little sensitive to it. And it could also be that because this reminds me of a really nice dessert tobacco, that's oftentimes that I'll use it kind of not necessarily after a meal, but you know, when you're just craving a little something on the snackish side. And so it could be that the times I've enjoyed it, I really probably needed to put a little something in my tummy first. I don't know. I will just caution you, if you're sensitive to nicotine, autumn evening, as I find with a lot of the C&D blends, tends to just be a little bit higher on the nicotine content than, say, some of the Sutliff or Lane or the old McClellan aromatics. So that's number 4, autumn evening. Number 3 on the top 5 list of autumnal or fall blends for smoking your pipe. The hell is it? That goes to Sillam's Black. Now, Sillam's Black is not always an easy blend to get a hold of, but if you can get a hold of it, I recommend you try it. I think it is just perfect for fall weather. I would classify this as an aromatic English hybrid because there's a healthy enough dose of Latakia in it. However, I wouldn't call it a lat bomb by any stretch of the imagination. And then there's a lot of other flavorings that go into this really, really nice base of very high quality tobacco. And I've described it in past videos as a cornucopia of flavor. And I really do mean that. I believe that. That's what it is. It's a cornucopia of wonderful flavors. And what's most interesting to me is the first few times I smoked it, I couldn't put my finger on what it was that I was picking up. There was a tasting note that I liked and I remembered perhaps from childhood, couldn't put my finger on it, and then I realized what it was. It was kind of like a sassafras, a root beer type flavor that comes in there, but it's also got a smokiness to it from the Latakia. There's a background of light fruitiness to it. It's just a good blend, and I think it's really good in the fall. Sillam's Black, number 3 on Padre Piper's top 5 list. That brings us to number 2, and it's another English aromatic hybrid, this one by Lane, and it is Lane HGL. Now, HGL is basically Lane RLP6 with some Latakia mixed into it. So Lane RLP is it's an aromatic. It's probably a lighter aromatic than, say, a 1Q, but it's in that same sort of ballpark. You might even call it codgery, right? And that's fine. I like that. But when you mix in a healthy little dose of Latakia, again, not a lat bomb, but what it does is it smokies up the flavor, adds a little campfireness to it, and really just makes for, I think, a wonderful fall blend. It's one that you can picture maybe getting some firewood together during the day, even though it's not too cold, but you know you might need it at night. And while you're doing that, you're smoking some Lane HGL. Highly recommend it. That's my number 2 fall blend, and that brings us to number 1, Padre Piper's number 1 fall blend to smoke in his old pipe. What is it? Well, it's a seasonal blend that is currently available from Strauss Tobacconists. And they're the only folks who blend it. It's a creation of their own. Many folks were afraid that it was going to go away because of the FDA deeming, and it still might, who knows, but last year, by great surprise, it was made available again, and I saw a mention of it today in social media that it went on sale again today, or at least they're taking orders for it. The way Strauss works is you call them up. It's kind of old-fashioned. You call them up and you put your order in. By the way, the blend is called Sleepy Hollow. It's another one with that sort of pumpkin-y spiciness to it, like my number 5. But where that was a drier one, that Sutliff pumpkin spice was a drier sort of flavor, this is a sweeter pumpkin pie. This has a more pronounced sweetness, mellowness to it. Probably a little heavier on the Black Cavendish, giving it some vanilla backing, some definite notes of cinnamon and definite nutmeg in there. It is just everything. When you think of fall, you think of Thanksgiving, you think of preparing for Christmas. All those scents and flavors, that's what you're getting when you get yourself some Strauss Sleepy Hollow. It's on sale, from what I understand, now through October 31st. You've got to get it from Strauss by Halloween. If you wait till All Saints Day, you ain't going to get none. It ain't going to be there no more. It's not exactly cheap. They charge a hefty little fee for their shipping, but folks, if you want a good fall blend, something that's, you're going to enjoy smoking when we get into the cool nights of October and getting ready to do Halloween and preparing for Thanksgiving and watching the Peanuts Thanksgiving special or the Peanuts Great Pumpkin, you need to get yourself a couple of ounces of the Strauss Sleepy Hollow. It's number 1 on Padre Piper's top 5 fall blends, and I'll be smoking some this fall, and I'd love to hear from you if it's one that you like too. You know what? That Porsche seemingly wants to race me, and I will have none of that on this Vespa. Yeah, that's how you overtake a Porsche, baby. Okay, back to Santa. Oh, now he's getting on my butt. Nice. Back to sanity and better speeds. Children, don't try that at home. I am not a trained professional, nor do I play one on YouTube. He turned off. Yeah, he had enough of me. He doesn't want a piece of Padre on the Scarlet Vespa machine. Anyway, that's my top 5 fall blends. I'd like to hear from you if you've got any particular fall blends that you enjoy. Fall is a time, for me at least, when I start moving more toward the English aromatics or even the straight Latakia mixes, something that don't do a whole lot of in the summer. They seem to be a little bit heavy, but as the weather gets cooler, the palate seems to want to shift more toward introducing some Latakia into the mix and into the bowl. Some of those winter blends that I enjoy are things like Black House. I think that's probably one of my absolute favorite winter blends. And, you can't discount something as classic as Penzance in the winter, too, because of that smooth Oriental and Turkish and Latakia mix that comes from it. But anyway, this is all about the fall, just some crisp air that we're hoping is on the way, and offering my 5 top blends that I enjoy during that time of the year. Leave me a comment, or if you're a presenter, go ahead and give me a video response and let me know what your top 5 fall blends are and what you plan on smoking from September 22nd on till about December the 22nd when we get to the first day of winter. That's going to be it for me. Let's just wave to the mailman as we pass him. How do, sir? This is Padre Piper. I've enjoyed having a chat with you today on the Vespa. I sure hope it comes out all right, and that I'm still working on getting the audio to work all right. And who knows, this video may not even turn out at all. But if it does, let me end it this way. Padre Piper, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.